Selector would have been around in the 70s, 80s, that sort of time.
Yeah.
How did Jamaican music get there? I mean, when you looked at the bands of similar type, Specials, Madness, and even to, I guess, a lesser extent, UB40, it was a mix of white and black youngsters originally, embracing Jamaican music, ska and reggae, rocksteady. How?
Well, I was born in Negril, and in the whole of two-tone, basically the whole of the two-tone movement was 14 members. And there were Neville Staples in the Specials from, I think he come from a place named Tick Tick, you know that place? And Desmond Brown come from up at St. Thomas, myself from Negril, Linval Golden come from St. Catherine. So Linval Golden was very instrumental. So we all left Jamaica when we were little kids. So when we were little kids, we were listening to ska music.
Okay, okay.
Right? So we took this ska music. Even my mother, Miss Mary Carrigo Brinkham, you know, she have the 12-inch from, the original 12-inch from Jamaica. Carrigo Brinkham ended up on one of the Selector records, right? And My Boy Lollipop, I rewrote My Boy Lollipop saying, I love my Cali. You make me feel so high. You deep meditation. Oh, my sweet Cali. I love it, I love it, I love it so. And I don't want it to go. So I write it, I say, my Cali, not a dog. Because in England, them say Cali is a dog. But I say, my Cali, not a dog. Right? Okay.
But it resonated with English youth.
Yes.
I mean, you go back even further to the mod era.
Yes.
Right?
Well, you see, that was a big problem. When we got to England, right, there was no provisions for young West Indians, right? The older people didn't understand the culture of the English, so we had to create our own culture. When we tried to go into the disco where the white people went, it's a problem because we wanted to hear reggae. And them said, no, we don't play reggae, sorry, no play ska. Them play, you know, rock and all that kind of thing. Okay. Well, it's cool. I'm not prejudiced against music, but at the time it was just Jamaican. So, and not only that was the racism, because now, to keep you out of the clubs, you couldn't wear a hat. And every black youth now started wear a hat because of Bob Marley, Rasta thing. So that's how they kept us out of the club. So I found out, I became a youth worker, dealing with the police and getting the youths off the street and finding this all kind of thing. That's where the music started. So once I had the youth club, the white guys used to come down, so that's where we started to rehearse with the Specials guys and the Selector guys
and
coming in.
Hence the two-tone.
And then we didn't have enough money to do a B-side when we was releasing the record. The Specials did Gangsters and the Selector had the Selector. So we put them together and released it on Rough Trade, and then by the time it said sell 5,000 copies, a major record company, Chrysalis, came in and signed us, and we had it in our mandate that we could sign other bands. So we signed Madness, we signed the English Beat, and Linval Golding actually found UB40 in Birmingham. I still have them demo tape in my collection, imagine. You know, so
but it seemed to be an incredible...
Spirit. Yeah, it was a spirit of just helping each other.
Question though, where you get this spirit from that you seem to have always been in either youth development or some kind of social work? Where that come from? Negril?
I think it was Negril because we lived in a community. I mean, I lived in Negril before the road built, right? When we used to go to school on the beach. So we had a sense of community. Everybody went to church together. The whole community was there, helping each other. The people from Red Ground come down to the beach, we get them breadfruit, and we get them fish, and we get cassava and yam from the hills. That's how we live in the community. We never use money them time there, you know. So we had that same spirit.
Back to that now.
Back to the United Nations. You have some statistics from the United Nations.
Well, we have our focus right now against the world food hunger, their fight against hunger, and really what the statistics would be is the impact of what is going on, as Charlie shared, throughout the world with the food prices rising, okay? Statistics per se, Charlie, what do you have on statistics?
It's about 58 million children go to school every day hungry, right?
58 million.
58 million. And what we're focusing now, what the World Food Program is focusing on is eradicating malnutrition, okay? Because what the recent studies shown that from 0 to 6. That's the window where the brain develops. And in the first 2 years, this most critical point, and back to the first 6 months, the mother must focus on breastfeeding in the very first 6 months, even without no water, because that's where all the nutrients goes into the child for the brain development. So what World Food Program is focusing on is the eradication of the child malnutrition. So this program has already been in operation for the last 3 years in the whole of Latin America and the Caribbean. So what Ghetto Child is doing is promoting the Fight Against Hunger campaign and the eradication of children malnutrition. Right. And I must, before we're going further, I must praise the Reverend Margaret of Negril right now, because we've come back to Negril, and I found that the church in Negril, they're building a community center to get children off the streets, and she has some 15 to 20 children there, because what is happening now in Negril, we've got the tourism, we're living in paradise, but tourism brings a social disease which is called what?
Disorder. Just disorder.
Because the hotels, you build a 500-bedroom hotels, how many staff you're going to need? Do they think about where the children is going to go to school? Do they think, oh, yes, we're just going to have a hotel, people just going to come and work? What about the kids? Where are they going to live? So we find now that, you know, we have 15-year-old prostitutes. We have guys in gangs because there's no work. There's no social things providing for them. The reverend at the Presbyterian Church up in Red Ground, I went there. She has some 15 computers. She's used 2 40-foot containers each side and built a school. She's building a hostel behind the school to keep the girls. So this is where Ghetto Child come in, because what I say, all the entertainers go to Negril, all the hotels, they come to Negril. They are just taking out. They're taking. So come to Negril or come to some part of Kingston where we need help. We can go there and organize something for the local. So when the people pay, they know it's going right back in that community.
All right, we have to wrap. You're going to do a song for us after the break. Charley Anderson.
Tune up the cards.
Brett Conley. We take a break. As we go, we show you another public service announcement.
Why Jamaica? Why?
How could he?
Your child's hope and promise
Can be destroyed if they're exposed to sex too early.
How could she?
Open your eyes.
Allow your children to be children.
Teach your children self-respect,
Dignity and pride.
Speak out.
Don't be afraid, and we'll your mouth and talk.
Our children,
My responsibility.
cherish,
Cherish.
protect.
Protect.